Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another MLittleProgramming tutorial. In today's video, we will be looking at Python decorators, what decorators are, the syntax of decorators, and later on in the video, we will look at a more advanced usage of decorators. So, what is a decorator? Decorators allow us to modify the behaviour of a function or a class. Decorators allow us to wrap another function in order to extend the behaviour of it, without permanently modifying the function we are wrapping. This functionality is possible because in Python, functions are considered first-class objects. So, let's get into an example. We could write a function that prints MLittleProgramming. To do this, we define a function like so. We then call the function somewhere else in our program, like so. Of course, the program just prints MLittleProgramming. Now, say we wanted to print some more text, we would have to come into this function we have here and print some more text. The program now prints some more text, followed by MLittleProgramming. So, what if we wanted to wrap this text with some hashtags? Well, without decorators, we would have to create a second function, which we'll call wrapper, which would take a function as a parameter, and then inside that function, create another function, which we can do with functions in Python, and call that hashtags. Inside hashtags, we'd print a series of hashtags inside a print statement. Then, we'd call the function that we passed in, so in our case, the print MLittleProgramming function, from inside that function. Again, Python allows us to call functions from inside other functions. Under that call, we may want to print a series of hashtags inside a print statement again, so MLittleProgramming is completely wrapped in hashtags. Finally, at the end of our wrapper function, we would return our hashtags function. To do this, we would create a variable, which we'll call wrap, and that variable will be assigned to a call to our wrapper function, where we pass in our print MLittleProgramming function. Underneath that, we'll call wrap. If we were to run this now, we would see this output. So you can see here, our print MLittleProgramming function has been decorated. The decorator function added some new functionality to the original function. This is like wrapping a gift. The decorator acts as a wrapper. The MLittleProgramming print statement that got decorated did not alter. Now, this is a pattern that you see quite frequently in Python. Due to this, Python has decorators. Instead of this line, we can actually place the line @wrapper above our print MLittleProgramming function. This means that now, when we call the print MLittleProgramming function, it is decorated with hashtags, which we'll see when we run the program now. This example is the simplest example of using decorators in Python. But what if we had a function that had parameters? Well, let's say we had a function that divides the first parameter by the second parameter. We'd first define a function like so. The function has two parameters and divides num1 by num2. So now, if we were to call the function with the numbers 10 and 2 and run the program, we see that the number 5 is outputted to us. However, if we were to call this function with 0 as the second parameter, when we run this now, we get an error. So, we may want to add some functionality to this function. So we would write another function checking for zeros as the second parameter. We can call the function checkErrors and have it take a function as a parameter. Inside checkErrors, we'll define another function and call it checkZeros. CheckZeros will take two parameters, the two numbers that we're dividing. Inside checkZero, we will have an if statement that checks if num2, the second parameter, is 0. If num2 is 0, then we print cannot divide by 0, and then return. If the number is not 0, then we will obviously skip over the if statement and go straight to returning the call to the function we have passed in, so in our case, our divide function. Finally, in the outer checkErrors function, we'll return the checkZeros function. Now, if we call the function like in the previous example, we can call div with the numbers we want to divide. So, if we pass in the numbers 10 and 2, we see that cannot divide by 0 is printed. Whereas if we call the function with the numbers 10 and 2, we will see the number 5 outputted. And that just about wraps up this video on Python Decorators. I'll put a link to the code you've seen in this video in the description down below. Thank you for watching the video this far. I hope you got a lot of value from it. If you'd like to see more Python programming tutorials, there will be a link in the description down below to a playlist of Python programming tutorials. With that said, if you like the video, if you could drop a like on the video, it would be much appreciated as it really helps the channel, and subscribe to see new Python programming tutorials every week. Also, if you've got any questions about the video, drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Have a great day.